Maximum power transfer theorem. This theorem is used to find out the value of a variable load for which the maximum power will get transferred from source to load. So we are going to find out what should be the value of the load resistance so that maximum power get transferred. Now the statement is this: a resistive load when connected to DC network receives maximum power when the load resistance is equal to Thevenin resistance. So this is the statement. When the value of load resistance is equal to the Thevenin resistance, then the maximum power transfer take place. Now to understand this better, let's take an example. Here I have drawn a very general representation. I have drawn a box and written here as DC network. This DC network may be any network containing any number of DC sources and any number of network elements. A generalized expression is shown here. And across this DC network, I have connected a variable load. And we can draw the equivalent circuit for this. Any DC network can be represented by a voltage source in series with a resistance according to Thevenin's theorem. So here it is VTH in series with RTH, and then I have reconnected the load RL. Now what will be the current flowing through this? IL will be equal to current flowing through it. IL will be equal to VTH divided by RTH plus RL. This is the current flowing through it. Then what will be the power? Power will be IL squared into RL. That is VTH squared by RTH plus RL the whole squared into RL. So when we observe this, we see that in the equation for power, VTH is constant for a given network, RTH is also constant. But RL here is shown as variable load. That means by changing the value of RL, the value of power can be changed. So we have to find out the maximum, the value of RL for which maximum power is transferred. That can be found by finding out dPA by dRL and equating it to 0. That is, rate of change of power with respect to RL should be equal to 0. So for that, we can find out this. We can evaluate what is d by dRL of PL and then equate it to 0. So d by dRL of PL should be equal to 0 for maximum power to get transferred from source to load. Now we know what is PL. PL is VTH squared into RL by RTH plus RL the whole square. Okay, I squared RL. This should be equated to 0. Now we will perform this differentiation. Denominator into derivative of numerator d by dRL of VTH squared into RL minus numerator into derivative of denominator RTH plus RL the whole square. Okay. This should be equal to 0. The whole divided by denominator square. RTH plus RL the whole raised to 4. Now this is equal to RTH the whole square into d by dRL of VTH squared into RL will be VTH squared minus VTH squared into RL, d by dRL of the other will be 2 into RTH plus RL divided by RTH plus RL the whole raised to 4 equal to 0. Now we can cancel 1 RTH plus RL from all the terms. So we'll get RTH plus RL into VTH squared minus 2 VTH squared RL divided by RTH plus RL the whole cube equal to 0. Now this denominator I can take it to the right side, so it will be 0 and we'll get RTH, I am expanding the first term in the numerator, RTH into VTH squared plus RL into VTH squared minus 2 VTH squared RL equal to 0. That is RTH into VTH squared is equal to VTH squared into RL. VTH squared will get cancelled and we'll get RTH is equal to RL. This was our statement also. The maximum power will get transferred when the value of RL is equal to the value of RTH. So when RL is equal to RTH, maximum power get transferred from source to load. Now what will be PL? We have written it as VTH squared by RTH plus RL the whole squared into RL. So what will be P max? Maximum power transfer will be equal to, for all RL we can write it as RTH. So it will be VTH squared into RTH divided by 4 RTH squared, or P max will be equal to VTH squared by 4 RTH. Okay. So those two equations we should know. For maximum power transfer, the value of RL should be equal to RTH, and also maximum power transferred is equal to VTH squared by 4 RTH. Okay. Now we'll consider 3 different cases which we may face. Now let's first we'll see the first case. Case 1. Okay. Case 1 is both the Thevenin equivalent and the load are purely resistive. Okay, this is our first condition. Both the load as well as the Thevenin equivalent are purely resistive. So in that case, that is a case which we have seen just before. So in that case, for maximum power transfer, that is, for that case we can draw the circuit like this. This is VTH. Okay, the Thevenin equivalent is also resistive, RTH, and and we have the variable load which is also a resistive RL. And we have learned that in this case RL should be equal to RTH for maximum power transfer, and maximum power transferred is equal to VTH squared by 4 RTH. This is the case which we have seen. Now let's see the case 2. Here both the Thevenin equivalent as well as the load are impedances. Okay. Now instead of writing RTH plus JXTH, I have written it as RS plus JXS. It is same. Let me write this as ZS, which is the source impedance or the Thevenin equivalent, and this is ZL, the load. So in case 2, both the load as well as the Thevenin equivalent are impedances. Now here also let's see 3 different cases. That is, in the load which is written as RS plus JXL, there can be 3 variations. The first one is RL alone is varying here. That is, though the load is impedance, in that just the real part is varying. Second is just the imaginary part, the XL is varying. And the third is both RL and JXL are varying. So the first case is, though the load is impedance, in that RL, only RL is varying. Okay. In such cases, RL is found by using the equation RL equal to root of R squared plus XS plus XL the whole square. Now the second case is XL alone is varying. Okay. When XL alone is varying, the value of XL for which maximum power transfer takes place is XL should be equal to minus XS. And the third case is both these are varying. RL is varying as well as XL is also varying. That is, ZL as a whole is varying. RL and XL is varying. Or ZL, the impedance load is varying. In such cases, we have to, it's a combination. Okay, we have to combine these two. That is, if RL is varying, it is the first case. RL should be equal to the Thevenin equivalent and XL should be equal to minus XS. So, ZL can be written as RL plus JXL. The value of RL should be equal to the value of source, and this should be equal to minus XS. So, RS minus JXS. Or we can say ZL should be equal to conjugate of the load impedance. Source impedance. I'll explain that once more. The second case is both the source as well as the load are impedances. Now we'll consider the first case. The first case is RL alone is varying. In ZL, only the real part is varying. In such cases, the value of RL for which maximum power transfer should take place is RL should be equal to root of RS squared plus XS plus XL the whole squared. The second case is just the imaginary part is varying. That is, XL alone is varying. In that case, for maximum power transfer, the value of XL should be equal to minus XS. Now the third case is both RL and XL is varying. That is, ZL as a whole is varying. So ZL is RL plus JXL. RL should be equal to RS and XL should be equal to minus XS, or ZL is equal to ZS conjugate. Now that is the case 2. Now the case 3. Case 3 is the Thevenin equivalent is impedance Thevenin equivalent is an impedance and load is resistive. Okay, that is our third case. So the circuit will look like this. VTH, the Thevenin equivalent is an impedance value which is Rs plus Jxs, and the load is purely resistive. In such case, RL will be equal to, it is similar to this case, RL is varying, but here there is no XL, so it will be RS squared plus XS squared. So these are the 3 different cases which you will encounter. So when a circuit is given and you are asked to find out the maximum power transfer, first you have to observe the circuit and find out which category that particular question fall to, whether both the Thevenin equivalent as well as the load are resistive, whether they are both impedances, or one is impedance and the other is resistive. So this is the theory of maximum power transfer theorem. Now let's see a few examples. The question is, find out the value of load for which maximum power transfer take place. So the first question is, you are given a circuit let this be 3 plus J4. This is a variable load. Okay. So you are given a circuit and asked to find out the maximum, the value of RL for which the maximum power transfer take place. So we need to check which category that we have previously studied fall here. So here we see that this is impedance, that is the source is impedance but the load is real. Okay. So RL will be equal to, which case does this fall? It is case, which case? ZL, ZS and RL. It is case 3. So RL is equal to root of RS squared plus XS squared, which is root of 3 squared plus O squared, which is 5O. Now let's see another question. The same source impedance, let this be 3 plus J4, and here we have an impedance load where this is fixed 3 ohm and this is variable. Okay. You need to find out this variable impedance, and it is shown that the load is an impedance load, but in there the real part is fixed. XL alone is varying. So which is the case? Case 2, subdivision B. So this XL, the imaginary part, should be equal to minus XS. That is, XS is J4, so this should be minus J4O. Now let's see another case the same thing, the third case, suppose you have the load. This is 3 plus J4 and you have a impedance load which is varying. Okay. You need, this is 100, again the same thing. This is 100 angle 0 degree volt. We need to find out ZL. So here again ZL and ZS both are impedances and the load ZL as a whole is varying. So which is the case? It is case 2, category C. So ZL is equal to ZS conjugate, which will be 3 minus J4. Okay. So this is how we have to find out the maximum power transfer. The value of load for which the maximum power transfer take place. Just analyze which category it falls and apply the corresponding formula. The question is, find the value of RL for which maximum power get transferred from source to load. Also find the maximum power transferred. So here the circuit consists of only resistors. So first we will find out VTH and then RTH. To find VTH, you have to remove the load and replace it by open circuit. So I have removed the load, replaced it by open circuit. Now we can apply node analysis. Let this be V1 and let this be V2. We can write two node equations. Node 1 will be V1 by this case 1, 2, 3. 3 branches connected. So V1 minus 4 by 1 plus V1 by 2 plus V1 minus V2 by 5 equal to 0. Then node 2, V2 minus V1 by 5 plus V2 by 1 equal to 0. Now we can solve these two equations and we will get V2 equal to 0.4 volt. That is, V2 is the voltage drop across this. That is, this is 0.4. So if we write the mesh equation for this loop, it will be, if we write the KVL equation for the outer loop, it will be V2 minus VTH plus 6 equal to 0, or VTH equal to V2 plus 6, which is 0.4 plus 6, 6.4 volt. Now to find out RTH, we can deactivate all the sources and find out RTH. So RTH is equal to, this will be 1 parallel to that in series with 5, that in parallel with 1. On simplification, we will get it as 17 by 3 ohm or 0.85 ohm. So we got VTH and RTH. So the value of RTH for which maximum power transfer should take place is, the value of RL should be equal to 0.85 ohm for maximum power transfer. And what is Pmax? Maximum power transfer is equal to VTH squared by 4 RTH, which is 6.4 the whole squared divided by 4 into 0.85, which will be 12.9 0, 4. Next question. Find maximum power transferred. So here the load is given. So first we'll find out VTH. To find out the maximum power transfer, let's find out VTH. For that you have to open circuit this. This is VTH, or the voltage at this node can be written as VTH. So just two branches. The equation will be VTH minus 110 by 6 plus J8 plus VTH minus 90 by 6 plus J8 equal to 0, or 2 VTH equal to 200, or VTH equal to 100 volt. Now to find out, here it is ZTH. Since the circuit contains impedances, we have to deactivate the sources. So let me do in the same circuit itself. So we can remove this two sources and replace it by short circuit. Okay. And we can find out what is the effective impedance C when you look from this point. So if I am marking this as AB, 6 plus J8 is connected between AB. This 6 plus J8 is also connected between AB. So ZTH is 6 plus J8 parallel 6 plus J8. That on simplification we get it as 3 plus J4, or 5 angle 53.1 degree. So once we get ZTH and RTH, we can draw the circuit. ZTH is 100 volt. VTH is 100 volt. ZTH is 3 plus J4. The load was a resistive load. So what will be the value of RL? RL, this is the case 3. RL is root of RS squared plus XS squared, which is root of 3 squared plus 4 squared, or we will get RL equal to 5 ohm. So the final circuit will be, now we need to find out the maximum power. Now we have learnt P max equal to VTH squared by 4 RTH, right? But here it's not RTH, it is ZTH. So when the values are impedance value, P max need to be found out using the equation P max equal to modulus IL the whole square, modulus IL square into RL. If the circuit is only resistive, we can find out by P max equal to VTH squared by 4 RTH. But if it is an impedance value, then you will have to find out by using the equation modulus IL squared into RL. So first we need to find out IL, current flowing through the load. What is IL? IL is equal to V by the sum 8 plus J4. And now we'll get this as 11.18 angle minus 26.56 ampere. Okay. So now we can find out P max. P max equal to modulus only. So you need to take only the magnitude form. 11.18 the whole squared into RL. RL is 5. which is 624.96 watts.